Roose. I will say in Estonian, tere kõigile. Minu nimi on Meeli Roose Turu Ülikoolist Soomest. Hei kaikille Turun yliopistolta, maantieteen laitokselta. I am representing actually our team of geographers, Harri Tolvanen, the leader of the team, and Tuva Nöölel has been very closely participated in designing URHIA and implementing the workshops as well. And today we are going to present what has happened during 1 year when we actually started with this concept. Is it so that next? I probably need to remember always to put next slide because my arrows are not working. Anyway, URHIA, Uralic Historical Atlas. What is the purpose and why we created it, why it's necessary? The purpose is that it would be open access, free to everybody to come and look the data. It would serve multiple disciplines, especially disciplines related to Uralic languages, genetics, archaeologists, and linguists, and also geographers with environmental data. It should bring together all the disciplines, and in this way it will promote maybe new novel researches. It is hosted, the platform is hosted by University of Turku, and the project Urgo is still on. It will continue at least until the funding continues until next year. And we still have plenty of time to evolve the current version URHIA. The datasets comes from our research team, which actually everybody already presented their share. Here is the time road trip of URHIA. It started in spring 2020, the planning. We did in the end of spring, we did a stakeholder workshop. And after that, we did a design sprint of how the platform should look like, what it should have. Then during the autumn 2020, we were staging it, contained many different aspects, web page and the platform itself and maps and data. And until this time this year, we have actually trying to fit the data in, trying to understand how the data works best, how it's the best to visualize it, and what's the best design for our end users. Because our end users are you everybody that are here today, hopefully. I want to say before we continue, I want to say all the thanks to the people who has been involved so far. Our IT team from University of Turku, our GeoNode network members. I will tell you more about GeoNode in a presentation. At the University of Turku, our colleagues, our consortium members, Jussi for Saami translation, amazing. Our close Bedlam network members, and Simone from Italy, who actually created the whole, he's a founder of this concept of GeoNode, company called GeoSolutions. And I will do today this way that you can access the page from here, sites.utu.fi/URHIA. I am gonna keep my presentation in my PowerPoint, but feel free to go and and look around during the time when I'm actually talking. As we are recording, then don't worry if you're not following all the screen movement, and you can look at it later. Here is when you proceed to the page, you will see how the URHIA looks like. The core is a web page which opens the main map view in the first page. You don't have to go anywhere else. You will be seeing immediately the map view. It's not a regular map view in a way that it, for example, just as index maps or another map picture, but it has functionalities which are similar to GIS applications. For example, known as desktop GIS programs, QGIS or ArcGIS. Probably some of you don't know about these, but no worries. Today we are going to look for functionalities of this platform, of this map, which are actually in a very deep core. They are GIS functionalities, but probably you're not even realizing you are doing GIS when you actually are browsing our map, which is nice. Before we proceed, there is also, you can see the other pages here. Language maps, background, which tells about URHIA, and user guide, how to manage those interactive layers. Let me proceed quickly to here. Here, I will probably need to put it on. You can see me browsing on the page. We were talking about the first, but let's check what is on the second page. These are the language maps that Timo Rantanen has made. The idea is that you can see with the mouse that I'm clicking, not clicking, but showing something. It's a link to the map as well, but we will take a look. Then there is a background, tells about URHIA, who has done it, some tips how to publish data in URHIA. And the last page is a user guide, which we probably will continuously develop. At the moment, we have lots of guidance from GeoNode documents, but there are also hints and relevant links to related pages, so it's easier for you to find if you need something. For example, managing map and download layer and how to register, and you can see that there is also mention about UTU Geospatial Data Service. This is the core. You can browse it. And map view looks like this. So this is the main reason why we have gathered here. You can see the one layer open here, all URHIA branches divided nicely with colors. You can, if you have accessed Timo's URHIA branches maps, then these follow the same color code. So in ideal world, it would be easier for a person who is looking at the printed map to come here and browse the same content based on color code only, visually. Yes. About the layers and what we have here in the map view, what we were just looking. We have two master layers, which means that they are presenting all the coverage of the area. So we just saw a URHIA branch, so it contained all the URHIA branch, 9 branches. Then we have language level, which is the same coverage, but it's more in detail in language level. Then 9 branch layers all separately. So you can click them on and off. We will see what it means. And then actually we will contain also all language level layers, which means there is 65 layers. They are not only language level from one time period, but there could be also many other versions of language layers. The ideal is that we could browse one language and see them on top of each other, how the language area has changed in time when you change the layer transparency. Here is visually one more time. You can see the logic from structure from bigger, from larger scale to smaller, which means the borders are not visible in branch layer, language borders, but when you click on the branch layer from only one branch, then you will see also already dialect border. We will see the small demo of this as well. One more time, the same thing, but I will now show you here. When you first you will see the master layer of Uralic branches. Then there is a master layer of Uralic languages. Then there is branch layer. You can see here a Finnic branch. So all the branches has their own personal layer as well. This is one of the 9th of the branches layers. So practically, if you go lower, you should find also Saami branch. At the moment, we have Saami and Finnic. We will add Samoyedic and all other branches as well. And then below each branch, we have language layers which are from this branch. So Finnic branch contains, let's say, 10 language layers and so on. And Saami branch contains 12, sorry, Saami branches. I don't remember exactly how many languages there were, sorry. Yes, this is the logic. And I have circled labels. You can click labels on and off. So you can actually, if you don't want to see the labels, because it can depends on the zoom level, it can be quite heavy to see all the labels. So you can zoom more closer to the area and then put on the dialect labels, for example. For example, here in Southern Estonia, you can see many dialects when you zoom closer and put on the labels. Then about the language maps, I was just mentioning that there is a page of language maps, and there are uploaded the same language maps that Timo presented, but with this inclusion that you can actually access each visualization interactively yourself. So you can go to check Saami map view, and it will lead you to the map view. It's not on the same page, but it will go to another page where you can see the same map view with the layers open here, and zoom in and zoom out, and you can actually manage the layers which are here yourself. You can zoom closer, you can, yeah, we will check more closely. And the same we have at the moment available also for Finnic layers, but the others are coming. It demands a little bit more time, but they're coming. Here is an example. You can see the Finnic map, and the same color codes are following to the map view. This, as we told, the branch is in the beginning, and then comes the languages, all Saami languages. And you can also put on the label for dialects. So when you zoom closer here, you can see on this area, you can see the dialect name. I have here a small demo as well. Now we are going to look at the Saami. Branch is always with one color. So the first layer is, sorry for like there is some missing letters. So branch is now switched off, and all Saami languages are switched on. So they appear here a little bit slower at the moment. Maybe the connection at home office is not so perfect, but it will be also probably something that we will work on, the speed maybe. And yeah. Then there are then our short course of 4 functionalities. They're quite easy navigating on the map. You can these all short course points are related to the first main view of URHIA map. Layer order and transparency, and information about layer and how to query data from this layer, because you want to know a little bit more about this layer, maybe rather than only like visual way, some of us. Navigating, quite easy. Maybe everybody of us have navigated on the map. Always there is zoom buttons, zoom in and zoom out. You can click the layers on and off. You can drag when you click the map and move it, then you can drag it, and you can scroll with the mouse. Quite simple. And you can scroll with the mouse without any other. Sometimes you need to click like a control and scroll, but here you can just scroll on the view. Next is the layers and layers transparency. Here on the side are, I call it a layer panel. So in the layer panel, you can click the layers on and off. This eye here is a simple icon showing you that the layer is on or off. And you can see that what I'm doing at the moment is that I'm actually observing Karelian language change in time. So we have 2 layers on top of each other. Karelian traditional language, which is from the beginning of 20th century, and the Karelian current distribution. Let me put it one more time. So you can see that I will put the traditional distribution coverage, and then I put on the current distribution, which is smaller. And I can change the transparency so I can see clearly in which areas we today say that these current Karelian language speakers. And I put on dialect labels. So I can see more precisely what areas have these dialects. Then there is also another way of see the layer is more information about layer, the legends and labels, querying, attribute table, and metadata. I think I had some examples of them. Let's proceed. Here on the image, you can see that there is this thing called tool tip. It's a tip of the. It gives you hint what is behind this this layer. I have a feeling that at the moment when you're actually going with your mouse on the layer, you see smaller text here, not so long. Probably we will work on this if it is so. Here you can see one more time what happens when you put on the label. Finnic dialect labels. And when you put on the label, then you will see more precisely of this area dialectal dispersal. Let me make a more short demo of this. So we have URHIA branch, the master level. You can open the legend from here. You can see all 9 layer branches are here. Then you could put on, for example, language master layer and open this one. You can see that there are much more already. So this is more in detailed level. These colors are not following at the moment any of our colors, but this is also something that we will evolve in a better shape soon. And here you can see the languages labels. As you can see, the label is on. Zoom closer, they will then change according to the zoom level. And yeah, how to open the legend. Then there is an option. You can see that there is some mark in the corner. How to query from the map. You will just choose this tool, it's green, and then you click on the map. Let me pause. So when you click on the map, then you see what is behind this certain polygon, that it is called polygon area in geographers. In world, it is called polygon. But in normal people world, it is called area. And you can see that there is always a number of the area. Then there is some useful information, for example, the source, Klotto code, time period, branch, dialect. This is layers. When you have layer open and click on some certain area, it will open the information about the area which you click on. Then we have something more that not everybody are interested, but I'm sure that some of you would like to query attributes. And I was just clicking wrong, attributes. So first you click the layer. And let me tell you that this option is probably available in this service view, which means you can see that there is a note on top of the map that please proceed to more attribute query and download, please proceed to the UTU's geospatial service view. So this is something that probably you will need to note. But yes, the idea is that you click on the layer which you want to see more precisely. We have a Karelian example here. Then you can see that on top of here, you don't have probably that one because you're not the owner of the map and you cannot change like permanently anything. But here is a table view. So you click on the table view. When you are happy with your zoom level, then you click on the table view and the underlying table appears. This is something that Timo partly showed, that there is a table behind every area. And this table is interactively queryable. So you can actually, without any knowledge of GIS, you can also access this information. You can write in a dialect. For example, now I am querying Livi dialect, and all rows which have Livi, so it means all the polygons that are connected to Livi will get active here and all other disappear. So you will see exactly only this thing that you want to see. You don't see anything extra on the map. Okay, but I noticed that there is Livi in two rows, so Southern Livi and Livi. What if I want to have only Livi Karelian? well, actually, yeah, it's you have to be very precise what you're looking for. So this is that's why it's called a little bit more advanced, that because this means that the person need to be already familiar with the data set. So here I'm browsing to Vienna. As you saw that actually it excluded everything else, and I'm seeing only this area on the map. And one more thing is that when you're happy with your Vienna area, then you could go to this, you could click on the rows and it will show you this exact area that you want on the map. You can see there's another example. Then we have one more option, which is also, I think, apologies when I don't remember which view, but I mean, even this is not I think you can do this on the main view without proceeding to the service view, is that each dataset have a name and tags, and the tags are, for example, label, language, or Karelian language, or Karelian language distribution. So whatever name you have in your mind that is connected to this label, let's say Karelian. So it will give you, there is a catalog where you can see all the layers connect. You don't have to browse through all the panel. You can go to the catalog and check what Karelian layers are available. They're useful for example, non-Finnish speakers, because the labels are not connected to the original language of the dataset. Let's say that the dataset is in Finnish. In archaeological case, there is a Finnish terms, but we are labeling actually the dataset, let's say luu esine, we are labeling it as bone. So even non-Finnish speaker could access the Finnish archaeological database or language database or genetic. Here is a small example of this query. So in this corner, you have it's a little bit shame that you have to open it separately, but let's see if we one day could have the catalog icon open right here, for example. But yes, you could go to the catalog and then browse from here. Let's see what I had in my mind. You can see on the below, there is 25 pages. Please note that this catalog is general for all university. It is not only catalog of URHIA. So actually, it gives you possibility to access all available research data. So it's kind of general pool of spatial data. But in this pool is our data as well, so which is named accordingly. But yeah, just for a note that if you're wondering what this means, there is over 1,600 layers available. So yeah. Let's see what I was actually searching for. Okay, Estonian. And I wanted to see what Estonian layers we have. I can see that we have 2 layers, North Estonian and South Estonian language layers. Apologies if you note that there is some naming inconsistency. Still, it will be all consistent. Yeah, so, and let me a little bit go back. You can also see that I had a demo of Khanty language. So I was trying to find all the Khanty levels, language branch, current traditional level. So we have here 4. And these signs here means that you can add them on the map. The same map view that you have open, you can add them according to your own wish. It won't save them though, because only administration have a right to save the main map view. But you can make your own maps when you register and save them in your own catalogs. Then we had archaeological, Ulla was telling about archaeological data and how it looks like on the map. We have been also very tightly working with this. And we have demoed and tested and tried to figure out what's the best way to present temporality. For example, if we have a Stone Age, Bronze Age, Iron Age, we have figured out many good ways, and probably we will launch it during the autumn. And I wanted to show you the demo of how the archaeological data will look like. It's quite long. It's like over 1 minute, but let's take a look. The main view is the same. So the idea is to compile the data to the map view as well. And they are point data. They are having now 2 structures. One is point data generally. So if you click on Stone Age pottery, you will see all the locations of pottery Stone Age findings. And then when you open another Stone Age pottery layer, which is based on type, so then you will see the legend the same way like we had in a language maps, that we had like a master level, and then we had a level of the same layer, which actually showed more detailed information. In order to see these colors, you have to switch it off because they're at the same location, they're on top of each other. Let's see if I actually do it. So you can see that the colors changed, and then you can zoom closer and you can get more understanding of this. We are still figuring out how to very reasonably add very dense data in this. Just is it like reasonable to add actually density map, which in like in general public people tell is a heat map or hotspot. As you can see, my finger is here moving, and you can see that there is some tooltip information. Under every layer we have that more detailed level that we can actually see more closer what is the information. Yes.
Really, how long do you have still? I think we are going on.
A couple of slides.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thanks. Sorry, Odi. Visual about the future development. I was just mentioning several things about these future developments, but coloring, labeling, patterns, heat map, everything is possible. Thank you. And please follow our journey in our Twitter page.